Top down morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko Was Wildmutt from Ben 10. So, yes, and the image that you see before you is Ben 10. So, yeah, and he has. I'm going a little bit into details of his character real quick. So, his mouth, when he opens his mouth up all the way, he opens like a snake, but he does like the same thing as Upchuck does. And like he also could go twice as fast than accelerate too. He can hear everything. And plus he's an adorable one. So, and yes, I include in every video that I ever make, I include Zoomy. So, yeah. And a little bit of backstory on how he came to be was his mother worked at a facility to like learn more about creatures, but she ends up got infected by that. So, by that same species. So, yeah. When she met her husband, she ends up not married to them, and she also had 2 kids. One was a normal Zoomy, the other was Zuko. And when he came out as, he was just like a little puppy. Did not know how to speak or properly talk. So that will surprise some of you about it. As her husband knew about that incident, but having the kid of that same species is like, holy crud. So they got rid of him, basically like, because if they found out, they would have got arrested and gets experimented on. So, yeah. Or they put him up for the adoption. As who's the one that took him? Nobody. So they left him on the side of a road. Like a curve. As when he got older, like 4 years old, he's starts talking and like he didn't, or there was this couple no, went in, like past, and they didn't hear nothing. It was deaf couple. And he starts going, keeps he keeps growing. Like, he basically now he starts eats more as his green fur and green eye, yeah. As he starts roaming around the entire city looking for prey. And yeah, he basically looks around on as in his head he could hear himself talking like, where are my folks? Because his memories of his parents. But let me remind you, he's now time skip before. He's at 15. So he still like roams around, grabs like mice food things, like eats mice, and yeah. As he sees this two old couple, or not old couple, he starts walking around, like climbing buildings, looking around, and he sees a little girl. That little girl was actually Ochako. Oh, she was trying to grab the ball thing, but the train, or not train, the car comes out of nowhere, but he jumps in and, like, he pushes her out of the way and he ends up getting hit by it instead. As he shakes it off, yeah, because his body is basically made out of, like a hardest material. Like, he's looks over and grabs the ball and gives it to her. As he says in a calm purr. As Ochako takes it. And she says, thank you. As that was, or actually that was 4 years old. Because he grows up real fast. As he, like, gets back onto a building. And at the Pro Heroes base thing, Nezu says, the basically we have a new creature species. Am I right? As All Might says, well, most of them are captured and experimented on. As Nezu says, yes, but we don't want the public to know of his existence yet. We have materials to try to explode them. As, yeah. But first, we had to take care of the company or the, whatever that's called, research facility that they previously owned by that rich kid. And because so Nezu said, or Racerhead says, how will we do that? As Midnight says, yeah, how? We can't just go in and frame them for it. No. See that Zuku, or that creature's running amok. But he is doing something opposite of what we have encountered in the past. Those ones that we encountered helped or tried to hurt us, but he's opposite. He tries to help us. Well, how about when he is 15 years old? We will allow him to join UA. And if he does good, we keep him. If he does bad, we'll kill him before they research him. As time goes on, he goes 15. As he looks over and sees a big building on the mountains, he says, well. As a voice came from the background, and that voice was actually hers. As she says, doesn't it look beautiful? You always are, because you're a quirk. Right. So you aren't allowed into that school. As Zuko, who does not know, he doesn't understand what they're saying. So of course, Bunny Girl remembers that his species doesn't like listen. So he decides, or she decides to do something crazy. She talks in his own language. As he now understands. As she says, or instead of like, I'm doing a translation version, so yeah, I don't know how they sound, but she says this: follow me. As he nods, as they both jump and walks with Nith all the way to UA. As he ends up using his senses to hear or to see around, but it's all blurry. Or he actually sees in like rainbow color in a person. So he basically could detect radiation, person's heat source, their skeletons, or anything. So yeah, he ends up going into UA, and he looks down and he wrote the entire like quiz, like answered every question in about all the way to nanoseconds. Really, really fast. That's faster than Momo got done. Like he looks over and sees a creature that, and as he walks over, because his stress level of it's in out of his comfort zone, so he's in the corner away from everybody. As Eraserhead or Nezu looks over at him and says, I thought those or it's what he's saying in his head. I thought those creatures were packed animals. But this one's different. How would that become? He's not ready to be with others. As he sleeps with one eye open, his only eye that's open. He's sleeping. As some of them are weirded out because they never seen that kind of species. he sees before. So, yeah. Now, sorry, I'm trying to click on the whatever that button is called. So, yeah. Next. So, he ends up getting the highest score because he got done really, really fast. How fast? Faster than like everybody even walked through the gate. That's how fast he is. As he's not used to humans yet, so as he looks up and he sees a young, beautiful girl. Well, as he sees her face, as he has memories of her, like when she was just a kid, like a toddler. As because he remembers her hair. There. And then perfumes. Or her hair thing. As he starts blushing as he used one hand up and waves it, as he says, "Hello again. It has been a..." Or actually, he raises his hand and shook it back and forth. As Ochako was young, but she does not remember him. As once they got back to their house, actually, Nezu told him to come in to his office. So he did, and told him straight then and there that you're now qualified for it. Please understand, we're not like science people. We're heroes people. As Zuko understands, like he nods his head back up and down. Or actually, he used roaring because he actually explains what the science or what the research people were doing. As let's say it was this guy, he was a billionaire. So yeah, as he says, he experimented on your kind before, but you are still living. How is that possible? Plus, as Zuko lifts up and he starts clapping his hands, like he smiles of not being experimented on. As, yeah. So, yeah. The next day, Nezu told him that he'll be in class 1A, top student. So, because you hold a world record. And they end up forgetting that he can't speak normally. As he had to, or they had dorms. They made ones that could hit the Zuku's lifestyle thing, as he had pictures of Oraka's baby picture, as his eye is like a photographic thing, like he printed and out and slowly puts it in. Yeah. He remembers Ochako real good. Remembers. So, yeah. He created the link as he tries to sleep. With his eye open, because it's a new environment. It startles him sometimes. So, yeah, Nezu tells him to relax. Don't worry. If there's like one of us, probably mostly Mountain Lady or Midnight, will come in to make check on you. Okay. And Midnight knows that he opens the door slowly so that he doesn't like get spooked. So yeah. So the next day he rolls into class. As he can see a body bag on a floor right behind the desk. As Mr. Azawa knows that he's there, as he climbs and he sat down. He was the first one there. It was pretty fast, like super early. So he sat down in the front row seats near the door. As, yeah, he basically as the other students came in, and as let's say it was the original class, plus Zumi was there too. So yeah, Bakugo was sitting behind him, like 3 tables back, as yeah, as he always remembers who Ochako's like Naoko was. As they start using bow throw things. So, yeah, he threw the ball. It landed in infinity. So, yeah. As he knows what the command things, like with his, because he only could see, or see, like, bones. So he sees, like, the hand signals. Knows. As, yeah. So I'm skipping the rest of it. But the heroes versus villains was quite interesting. He got paired up with Ochako. Oh. As Ochako was, at the time, is falling in love with Bakugo before. But then when of course Zuko was actually told, or he, as Ochako forgot that he can't hear properly, as she does that like little roar thing, as like ready, set, go kind. So yeah, he used his signal things, and he detects two people on top, as his opponents were the original ones. So he goes down, and like he literally goes, like runs, and yeah, he does run on all fours. So he's basically like went right past Bakugo, knocked him out of the way. Bakugo was landed like he got nailed into a wall hard. So yeah. Then he goes up to Tenya, Ida, the blue-haired guy that's up there. And yeah, he used, like, he actually had, when he was growing up, he used, like, to see into the future. He still has it. So he actually went and went right past the bomb area, and right past Ida, touches the bomb, they win quick. As yeah, next, or I'm skipping the like the rest of it. So, or like Midnight was like checking on him to see if there's any changes. But her like scent thing, like her quirk, weirdly activated as it starts. But when he was sleeping, he was like out like a light. And he, or, or like, yeah. And he starts walking, or he like transforms, like something in his DNA transforms him into like a human hybrid thing. So he is basically like human mixed with it. He still has the same scent as his old self, but he doesn't activate it until USJ. So let's go to there now. They get on a bus. Frog Girl asks everybody except for Zuko. Because they try to tap on his shoulder. And yeah. So he basically got to USJ and they walk in. They get ambushed by the villains. And Mr. Ozawa told 13 to watch the students as he goes in. And as 13 read the file of Zuko's, of him only responding to roars, or like something that's like roar, roar. So she says this, let's get out of here. As that was like, whoop. Yeah. So he agrees as he turns around, literally gets smacked in the face by the warp guys. Hey. And he snuck right around. And yeah. So, yes, he basically ran right past, or went right through that warp guy like he was not even there. And bang, through the, like, he slams his head against the door. As he tries to open it, it was automatic closed, so he's like, as he's lift one paw up and like turns it to this, and he hits the like he closed his like claws things, or he tore it as the warp guy warps him and the others away. As yeah, he was by himself. As he looks around, as he says in his head, "Where am I?" And then they didn't or he didn't realize that he was in the other part by himself. Everybody else got teleported to like the other 4 areas. So yeah, the villains came out of nowhere and they start attacking him as he's knocking them all out with just one swing. As when he did that, it like reacted to their skin. And as he starts transforming into a human, as yeah, he transformed into something like big and strong guy. So yeah, he basically was taller than All Might, more buff than All Might and Endeavor put together, and so yeah, he basically like he looks at his hands. Whoa. As he, instead of like talking like a dog sound, he talks like a human. Like, whoa, what's going on? As he starts whacking him, he still has the same abilities when he was just in his dog form, or his original form. He has the same strength as like, yeah, 20 of them put together. And they're strong. So he basically jumps and he literally grabs everyone, puts them down at the front door, ran all the way and grabs Mr. Aizawa. He took a hit, but he basically shoot him in the brain thing. So yeah, he basically rips the brain out, crushes it, killing the Nomu, picks up Mr. Aizawa, walks all the way, and some of them are asking themselves, who was that? As he comes out and like he literally injured like Shiraki's and he hits up and like when he walks out, he, instead of like his normal like doggy voice to try to like talk, as they're like asking him, where's Zuko? Or where's that dog creature looking thing? As he says, "That's just being rude." As he says, "I'm that creature." Okay? As he like had it processed at first, like kind of like what those people do in the movies. And then when they actually figured it out, as, wait, so you're that dog creature thing? Yes, and my name is actually Zuku Midoriya. Or Zuku. Oh. The and we already met Ochako Uraka. As Ochako's like, wait, how do you know my name, first of all? As he says, well, I keep a photographic memories inside myself. So, yeah, we kinda met. And do you still have that ball, like basketball thing? As Oraka remembers that that orange basketball that she got saved by some random creature. Her parents told her about it. Yeah. How do you know? As she stops herself, as her eyes got big, like that big. She saw Zuku, or she says, "That creature was you that saved my life?" As, yep, when I saw you at that hunt, or when you were just that toddler, you chased that ball, well, through that. Okay? As she couldn't believe that this guy is that same creature that saved her life from that. Without him, she wouldn't be standing there talking to her favorite hero. So, yeah. So she ends up, she couldn't believe that. As some of them, like, because how, like, muscular he was basically pretty strong. So, yeah, he basically, as they went back to their, like, this school, and he actually had a picture of Ochako, his big baby picture, as he takes it off and, like, he shows it to her, as she couldn't believe that this creature was known her from her own childhood, or like toddlerhood. And when she was only 4 years old. As yeah. So the Zuku's, or they asked Zuku know, to go see Recovery Girl, get some blood drawn. As he says, sure. And when he was walking down, every schoolgirl that was at there stops and stares right at him, and like they couldn't believe this handsome fella is so gorgeous. So, yeah. Please wait for part